I'm Michelle Ellsworth. I'm working on a project called Litigation, State of Exception. It's a piece that collides the Oresteia with dance and the internet and Guantanamo Bay and an aerial drone and live video processing. If you haven't read the Oresteia lately, I thought I'd just review. It's an ancient Greek trilogy by Aeschylus. So in play 1, Clytemnestra kills Agamemnon when he comes home from Troy. In play 2, Orestes, Clytemnestra's son, kills her, payback for Agamemnon. And in play 3, Athena sets up the first ever murder trial with a 12-man jury system. When Athena does this, she ends the days of vendettas and introduces us to the world of litigation. This piece, Litigation, can really be seen as a sequel to a piece I made for On the Boards in 2012 called Phone Homer. Phone Homer is a remix of Homer's The Iliad and set for Clytemnestra and kind of tells her perspective. I'm going to show you a little of that because it's done in Litigation is in pre-documented form. Video go. So in Phone Homer, Clytemnestra has Skype phone calls with Agamemnon, her husband, and Troy, with Penelope, her soon-to-be lover Aegisthus, and also her sister Helen, and I played them all. In between Skype calls, she navigates the World Wide Web, in this situation looking for transformative dance moves. After she orders the tube, she has to wait for it to be delivered, and so she goes here for lamentation dances without tubes. Then she goes to a site called Daedalus' Sister's Replacement for the emotionally and physically absent man. She ultimately buys the male gaze simulator, which is a giant eyeball that tracks my motion on the stage. When she starts to hyperventilate, she goes to TED to get a positive spin on the hyperventilating experience. And this woman in black is a reoccurring character throughout the piece. Here she is again giving choreographic advice to the live Clytemnestra on the stage and also navigating Pandora for her to take the edge off. This is a site called Burger Craft. Clytemnestra buys quite a lot of fast food, but she's always looking for calorie-free ways of interacting with it. And so, about dance, where she goes to learn about both murder and suicide dances when she's trying to decide what to do. And this is just one of the porn sites that she goes to. It's a burger-based porn. For Phone Homer, I made over 20 freestanding websites. And they all exist. They're kind of hard to find online, but they're there, and that was a pleasure. And what I showed you was just the video portion. So I'm on the stage, and I also was very, moved by the Minority Report. So there's a lot of of the web. It was an important thing. Anyways, how shall I say? Phone Homer. That's pre-murder. Litigation takes place post-murder. So when Clytemnestra kills, and I shall use the word actually, assassinates Agamemnon, she demonstrates that she is pretty much incapable of conforming to the category of a good citizen. When she fails in this effort and is identified as a bad citizen, yea, I would even say a terrorist, her community starts to establish counter-terrorist tactics. These make her anxious, and so she responds in litigation with what I'm calling over-the-counter counter-terrorism protocols. In order for her to execute these over-the-counter counter-terrorism protocols, she has to spend all of her time in this little modular green screen soundstage where she can do what she does in her deviant behaviors and have a video camera normalize them for the surveillance camera that is hung from a quadcopter to pick up. And I hesitate, can you show this thing, to show you this because this isn't what it's gonna be. It's gonna be metal aluminum, and I'm not gonna look anything like Barbie in this footage, but it's kind of hard to explain. So this is just a very sad model of what it looks like. So this is when it's closed. You can see that's a front projector. And there's the Lego, I'm sorry about this. This does not match my values or aesthetics, but it gives the point that all of her time is there. And so the remixed footage is here on, I guess you're right, and the surveillance footage is there on the left. And you can see the quadcopter. So this is just one thing that is happening. Also during the piece, Clytemnestra is building what she calls a anti-Trojan horse interpersonal drone to outsource her emotional interactions. And she's trying to communicate with her children that only exist online. And ultimately, she has she choreographs a pas de deux for herself and the quadcopter, which is really actually quite romantic, surprisingly so. And the piece is a performance piece. It's also a mobile device app or installation. The app component is an easy fix because this world she lives in is the same proportion as an iPhone, and so it's easy to translate the information or content across platforms, but I'm thinking of the app as a choreography generator. I was inspired by Raymond Queneau's 100,000 billion poems, and so I'm making 10 dance phrases and 10 variations of each one that ends in the exact, very specific place, so that they can be arranged in a multiplicity of ways. So the user of the app can choose which sequence and literally generate billions of pieces of dance, which is great for setting up for the surveillance camera, because she could be sitting in the box, dicking around, and it could look like she's really dancing, which is great. And how shall I say? She is looking at the impact that wars have on bodies and legal protocols. So whether you're looking at the ancient Greeks and the introduction of the 12-man jury system, or you're looking at the US post 9/11 military commissions, extra-legal judicial systems, which regrettably have none of the benefits of habeas corpus, you can see the relationship of war to legal protocols. In addition, the piece is very interested in looking at that gap between, emotional intention and physical execution. So that's a big part of it as well. So I would just say that I don't get out much. I'd like to tour this piece. Thank you. I got a little something on the West Coast and a little something on the East Coast. I'd like to go on the way. I feel like the piece can be freestanding. It could go in a cornfield. It could go any old place. And I'd be in the mood. And also, I'm looking for adult supervision for all things administrative, promotional, and art land related. Thank you so much. Thank you, Creative Capital.